In this edition of Bodybuilding versus the World, I wanted to talk about the accusation of pride and arrogance and vanity that bodybuilders often get hit with. And the truth is that anyone can be overly prideful and arrogant, um, no matter what profession, field, or hobby they participate in. For example, there are doctors who have a godlike complex, who think that you can't challenge them on anything because they went to a university and got a degree or a doctorate. They think they're above question and above scrutiny. Take Dr. Fauci, for instance. Then you have anyone in any kind of profession, university teachers, uh, intellectuals are probably the worst about quote unquote intellectuals, are actually the worst ones about being overly prideful and arrogant and thinking that they can't be challenged on anything. Any sport, any endeavor, but for some reason, those who really dislike bodybuilding, I've seen this from trads as well, they love attacking bodybuilders for being vain, narcissistic, and arrogant. The truth is, yes, like in any other field, like in any other profession, like in any other hobby, there are people who are overly arrogant and overly prideful. But the overwhelming amount of people that I have met in the fitness world who participate in bodybuilding, they're very down to earth, very friendly, very humble, and very willing to help other people out. And the fact is, being a bodybuilder, you are aware of your flaws and your deficiencies, and you're trying to make yourself stronger. You're trying to improve upon that. So you're really not, most are not overly inflated about their own bodies or their own egos. Now, Bruce Lee, there was a quote that Bruce Lee said, and basically what he was saying is, if I tell you I'm good, you'll say I'm boasting. But if I tell you I'm no good, you will say I am lying. And that's very true. God's order is hierarchy. I know that I am smarter than a lot of people. I also know that my body is probably, and my strength is probably, above 98% of the general population. So I am in the upper echelon. Because I acknowledge this fact and acknowledge this truth doesn't make me prideful and arrogant. What this allows me to do is say, look, I have a knowledge, I have a advantage in this area. Let me inspire and help others. And this is also what Peary Rader, the founder of Iron Man, alluded to. He said that, the muscle man, the bodybuilder, the strong man, people look up to you, and you shouldn't get puffed up and prideful about your body or your muscles, but instead you should use the that following you have, that admiration you have from others, and you should use that as a chance to do good works. Set a good example, live a clean lifestyle, and because people do look up to those that are stronger. Like I said, it's God's hierarchy. It's the natural order of things to admire strength and those properties that people have that are better than your own. So you want to aspire to be stronger. And if you're setting a good example, others looking to be like you will follow that example. And it is also a great way to pull others to Christ, to muscular Christianity. If you can mentor and help someone in the gym, you could also tell them about these things. So that's why people have it all wrong when they unfairly single out bodybuilding as being about arrogance and vanity. It's an unfair accusation. As I said, anyone could be prideful and arrogant, no matter what profession, no matter what sport. Pride becomes dangerous when you exalt yourself to the point where you're taking God out of the equation. You have to realize what your place is in God's order and not exalt yourself too highly. And as I said, there's nothing wrong with acknowledging hierarchy. And yes, I am stronger than most people. Yes, I have a physique that is better than 98, 99% of the population. It would be no different than a craftsman who makes wonderful works of art, sculpture, painting, woodworking, saying, okay, yes, I am good at this. Let me help you with this project. So there's nothing wrong in acknowledging our natural gifts and talents. That's being truthful. But you don't want to exalt yourself where you're not open to listening to other people, and you're not placing yourself above God. You give all the glory to God. God allows us to have these gifts, to have these talents. So we really have to give thanks to God for that and not take God out of the equation. And as long as we do that, we're not in trouble of becoming overly prideful and arrogant. And always use your status and your place to where others who admire you, you set a good example for them, and you do acts of charity by helping where you can and befriending people. Because you'll have a lot of people, once you reach that rate of success, you'll have people come up to the gym and ask you questions. So it's really a good way to make connections with people, make friends, and to witness to the truth about Christ and the muscular Christian, muscular Catholic discipline and lifestyle.